Hello everyone. This is Tulane Mulife and I welcome you on my next episode. I am your NLP practitioner and your life coach. And do guys subscribe on the button below. Do like and talk to me on the comment section. Let's engage, let's talk, let's build each other, let's transform each other. Let's begin to be the change that we want to be. Let's keep believing for the world that we all want to live in. And when I say the world, it is the world that you create individually. I live in my own world, you live in your own world. What kind of a world do you want to live in? What does it look like? Let's talk further. In coaching, as I've indicated before, coaching is not about advising. I don't give advice. I'm not a motivational speaker. So coaching itself is really about you engaging me on what is it or what it is you think can be done, what resources are available. We talk about what is available to you or for you now, what is at your disposal. So today, what can you do to build relationships, solid relationships, valuable, fruitful relationships, and in a sense of what can you do to win people, to make people who love you in whatever in whatever framework. It could be in a workplace, it could be with your family, it could be with your friends, it could be in business even. I mean, more so for those who are in sales, for example. If you are running your own business, you do want people to buy into your product. You do want people to buy into your service and to believe in you. If you are a public speaker, you do want people to begin to want to listen to what you have to deliver on stage. So it could be in whichever form. If you need to negotiate, in a boardroom setup, you do want people to listen to you and to begin to, to want to engage with you. But now, what can you do to do that? It's not an easy task. It's not a difficult task. And how did I learn this? Remember, I was once at one point I worked in sales where I was selling furniture, and this is one of the things I kind of remembered recently as I was going back in my NLP work, to say actually in sales, and same techniques, same things that I did. So this is embedded in me. I worked in ministry for many years. I was doing counseling. I was a preacher in ministry. I was engaging a lot of young people and old people. People would come and speak to me. But how did I build that? What did I do? There are techniques that you can do. There are techniques that you can apply to actually be able to change the atmosphere. When we talk of people to say there is this person, whenever they appear, the atmosphere just changes. They just sparkle, they just radiate. But what can you do to be able to begin to create that? One of the things, be able to discern, be able to understand your audience. What kind of people do you want to have, to come to you all the times for help? What kind of people are you trying to win here? And what do they look like? What do they enjoy talking about? What do they enjoy drinking? If they enjoy laughing more, you need to be able to laugh with them and laugh with them genuinely and authentically. Understand or discern, listen to your audience. That's the most important thing. Guys, I know we all have a lot to say. Everyone has something to say. People who keep quiet not necessarily because they have nothing to say, but they keep quiet because they understand the value of listening, and they understand the value of not saying anything if there's nothing to say at that particular moment. So really, guys, it has to do with being able to respect your own, understand that as much as you have not said it out, but it's still valuable, it's still truth. If you believe whatever you want to say is truthful, that should not be determined by you having said it and people believing it. You know what I'm saying? So if I believe one particular thing, I can, choose to keep quiet about it. And that doesn't change anything. I still believe in it and I stand by it. So being able to listen actually wins your audience, because people want to be listened. People want to talk about their children. If you are in a space where you want to, in families, for example, listen, talk about their children. That is what they want to talk about. My kids that, my boy that, my baby girl this. They want to talk about their husbands if it's in a midst of housewives. They want to talk about their wives if it's in the midst of married gentlemen. So really understand what it is that they want to talk about and allow them to break. Guys, sometimes it can be boring, but the moment a person realizes that you are making this conversation about them and less about you, you are allowing them to be themselves, eventually they will find themselves being vulnerable, opening up. That is what happens as soon as a person begins to listen to you, and they listen to you genuinely. They then begin to be vulnerable. They then begin to want to lower their voice to say, there's something else I need to talk to you about. From a conversation that was up there. Why? Because you were then able to allow them to be themselves, and they felt more comfortable, and they felt listened to. They felt this is, finally someone is willing to listen to me. Someone is willing to listen to me, to understand me, and not to disagree with me, or not to bring me down. It's that kind of a moment that you have built a rapport. You've built a strong rapport, and a person begins to be vulnerable, and then in them being vulnerable, you then are able to pick their discrepancies. Then you can introduce solutions. If you've got a product, then you can introduce your product. If you've got for example, an advice that you can give to that person that comes at a price, you can then begin to introduce it. But now you can't just come in with the mindset of thinking that you know me, or you know your audience. You don't know your audience. You don't know what they go through. That is why it's so important to listen, to understand, listen to learn, be able to ask questions, be able to probe. And you see, in a moment of you engaging with that, with that audience, engage with them, affirm them that you understand them, nod your head, repeat what they've just said. In doing so, you are present, they are present, the entire thing is going, the atmosphere is changing, even trust is being built, rapport is being built, vulnerability begins to happen. Then we're able to identify the discrepancies. If they love laughing more, as I've said, laugh with them more. If they enjoy talking about kids, talk about children. If it's politics, understand, try. Even if you're not into politics, ask questions as a person who wants to understand politics, not pretend that you know politics, which is the other thing that has killed so many relationships. Do not pretend to be something that you are not. Be yourself. If I do not understand politics, but I'm willing to hear you out, then I should be asking questions about politics. What is politics? That person is always happy to explain something they understand. As I've said, people enjoy talking about themselves. They enjoy talking about or bragging about what they know the best, or what they've achieved, what they've accomplished for themselves. Guys, don't mind the noise outside. It's my neighbor. They're having a party. It's amazing. So as I've indicated, allow a person to be who they are, and you be yourself as well. And in doing so, you will understand where they are, where they stand. Then they will feel comfortable to hear you too. And in doing so, they're happy to come back. And they're happy to engage with you further if you're in a business meeting. If you are in a public speaking space, you have done your homework. You know the kind of people you're going to speak to. You kind of understand their struggles. You kind of understand things they talk about. Is it young people? So you also do your study of your people, of your audience, the people that you're going to. If it's a boardroom session where you need to do your business presentations, who are you presenting it to? What kind of presentation does this organization, their level of, what are their standards in terms of presentation work? What standard can you present your work? How can you come across? So really, guys, that is how I believe it has worked for me over the years. That is how it's still working for me even now. I mean, there are relationships that I've pushed away because I just felt they were just taking so much from me. But these people still want to come back to me because of how I'm able to engage with them, how I'm able to take them in, how they're able to take me in, be vulnerable without, a feeling of being judged, a feeling of, of not being understood, a feeling of being discriminated, which is the other thing. Once you put in discrimination and judgment in your engagements, you are killing the entire thing. You are killing the entire conversation. You are killing the entire relationships. You are killing opportunities and possibilities. that could have sprung out, of that conversation, of that engagement, of that business presentation, of that negotiation. So really, in relationships, make it about them. And in you making about them, it's going to become about the two of you guys. It's going to get to a point where you now have an opportunity to be you. You are now needed. You are now wanted, either for your ear or for your service. Thank you. Adios. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? My eyes are so red. I was sleeping today. Okay, my wonderful people, you can engage with me on the comment section. If you wanna talk to me, send me an email. All my details are there. I'm going to book you in for a coaching session that will transform your mind from where you are to where you want to be. Thank you very much and have a blessed day.